So recently, I'm very interested in the future of the world, and I want to make predictions about the world. And today, I want to talk about Vietnam. And first, I want to talk about its economy. And when you talk about Vietnam's economy, you will have to talk about the real estate situation in Vietnam because it is very important. Why? Because 60% of a person assets is put into real estate. For example, if you are an average person and you have, I don't know, like 10 billion, you will put about 6 billion in house or land, right? So that's the meaning of 60%. 60% you put your money in real estate, and when you have an asset, you will always take a look at its ROI, return of investment, and the return of investment of real estate, like a house. I will put it into two categories. First is the monthly rent. If you have it rent, and usually it's just about 3%. 3%, which means if the house is 3 billions, 3 billions, and after a year you will only have about 90 million Vietnamese dong, right? It's even lower than the bank saving interest rate, right? But there is a second category is the increase in its price. Yeah, right. For example, if you buy a house about 3 billion, you will expect it to increase to 4 billions in about like 5 years or something. But the problem with this is we still have a very big question mark about it. Some place is increase about 10%, some place is stock, and some place is increase in 50%. Why? Because when you believe in the increasement of when you believe in the increase of price of real estate, you are believing and expect in the development up to first is the infrastructure. The infrastructure, which means you expecting the government is building a highway and a school, a hospital near the land you are gonna buy, and you are also expecting that people are gonna come to and buy house and live near the place you are buying the house, right? If this is just about buying the house, it's okay. However, the problem is we have a social belief that the real estate will always increase you, so you don't look about this thing. You don't expect anything about this. You always think that, oh, just buy a house, it will always increase. This will put people in debt. People will borrow people will borrow money from bank with the rate of like, I don't know, like about 15%, right? You will pay it, but when you look at this, the ROI is only 3%. This gonna put you in a very difficult situation, which means you are expecting it to increase about 12%, right? Something like this. This gonna put you in debt if you not gonna look it thoroughly. And when buy a house, you are not growing true value or net value in this economy. Basically, you are just hoarding. You are just how do I put it? You are just holding an asset and hope it will increase price. You not gonna put any value in this market. you're not gonna put, like for example, you don't even make a thing to this economy. You do not contribute anything true value in this economy. So I am very against this, and so I don't think that the economy of this Vietnam it is very dangerous. I don't think it's stable, and we are in a bubble economy. However, another look at this economy is we are booming in this era, and the government is expecting about 10% increase in GDP every year. But to look it closely, the 10% will equally distribute in every single person in this nation. No, I think the 10% increase in GDP will benefit the top 10% of population, which are the homeowner and people who own factory, which they are businessmen, right? So they have a truly look at this economy, and they will have a very big profit when the economy is booming. The next is 50% of population, which I will say they are the middle class people, having salary and working hard just to buy a house, or I don't know, just to live their life. These people, does they increase 10% in salary every year? I don't think they will increase like this, and this is not increase when they work hard. This is not increase when they increase in experience or they put any true value. This is 10% in just to fight back the 10% GDP, right? I don't think they will increase in 10%, and lower class, I would say about 40% they are living in a poverty. However, you must I will give you a fact that only 5% people in the very low, the lowest point is under the poverty line, and most people in Vietnam is, you would say, live up more than what you actually need, which is above the poverty line. I don't know if it's true or not, and this is a very how do I say, very delicate aspect of the economy, and people are still arguing about this. I don't know. I just give you a fact like this, and if you believe it or not, I don't know. So 10% in GDP, does CPI, which increase, which means I say it's in inflation. Does it increase? Do you believe it increases in 3.4%? I don't think, because the CPI we usually think of is the average of everything, but the thing important things like the price of food, rice or oil, it does not increase in 3.4%. It usually increase in like, I don't know, like 8% or something. And so another thing, another aspect I want to tackle is I want to give you a concept of personal CPI or personal inflation, which means everybody's had their own inflation. For example, if you eat phở every day, like a whole month you only eat phở and you do not do anything, let's say a bowl phở is 20k Vietnam đồng, and when the increase of it is 5,000 đồng, which make it 25k Vietnam đồng, and it will make it actually is 25% in increasement, and which means your personal inflation is 25%, right? So this is a very delicate thing you have to calculate yourself. So I want to talk about the future of Vietnam. We already have a broader look at about Vietnam situation, and I want to think about its future and make some prediction. First of all, do I think that the purple about real estate will burst? No, sadly, I don't think it will burst. I don't know if I'm having a very positive or optimist, uh, optimistic way of thinking, but I don't think the purple will burst. Why? Because we are in a booming economy and its increase in GDP will tackle this problem. Um, First of all, when the house price increase, people will do not buy house anymore. Because why? Because simply it is too expensive and people will buy something else. The first two things they are gonna think about is gold and bank saving. But gold is actually just a shelter to fight back with inflation. And the next one is bank saving, right? So they gonna have the interest rate about 7%. Recently it's about 9%, but when people put more money into the bank saving, bank will say they don't need that much money, so they will lower the interest rate. So I will make a prediction of let's say 7%. And so these two options is not very good, so people will have a look in the stock market, right? Because the Gen Z's people are having a very positive, and they think very carefully about their personal problem. So they will think, they will learn about more about the economy, and they will finally find out that yeah, in Vietnam we still have a stock market and you should put some money into it. And so let's say they will learn about the 4% rules, so they will buy some ETF, or they will put some money in the fund on bond or something like that. And by this they will increase, they will have the interest rate, I would say about 10%. 10%. Nah, 10% is a bit low. I would say about 15%. Yeah, something like that, because it will contribute mostly from the 10% of CDP and something like this. And so yeah, that's what I'm saying. The gold price will stay there. It's not gonna burst the bubble. It's not gonna go down anything soon. But it will wait you when you increase in the salary, when you having more money, so to put into the stock market and something like that, and you make the investment more carefully. Eventually you will have more money, and the price of a house will relatively cheaper to you. That's what I'm talking about.